So welcome everyone, let's get started. Welcome to our special Cannes edition of Nomad Talks. This is a first for us. We'll be talking to two amazing and talented grads who won 2 Grand Prix awards at Cannes Lion 2021. So we're going to be speaking to Rainor, Marinho, and Catharina Mendonça, who won the Grand Prix Entertainment for Music, and Nicholas Bergatin and Leonardo Zardo, who won Grand Prix Entertainment for Sports. So the first team that I would like to welcome is Nicholas and Leonardo. Welcome, you guys.
Hi, thanks.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you guys. And we can't wait to hear more about this because it really is a very special award. So just a quick bio on you guys. And then if you want to introduce yourselves a little bit more, you can too. But Nicholas studied copywriting at Miami Ad School and is currently at Africa Agency in Brazil, for those of you who don't know. And Leonardo studied art direction at Miami Ad School and is currently at SOCO. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So the first thing I wanted to do is show the piece for the people who are here who aren't familiar with it. So let me just share my screen and then I will show your work. All right.
Pappasen ruukas aina sanoa, että päivätär se tulee vielä takaisin. Ja sehän on se auringon jumalatar se.
En ole koskaan nähnyt aurinkoa, mutta kyllä se on sieltä tulossa.
Tiedemiehet on sanonut, että lämpötila vielä vain nousee. Tiedä häntä. En tiedä.
En tiedä, mutta minä ainakin otan aurinkoa.
Kais tuossa vuodessa niin jäät sulaa ja tässä on täydellinen järvi.
Tervetuloa Sallaan, Suomen kylmimpään paikkaan.
Me haluamme järjestää täällä kisat, vuoden 2032 kesäkisat.
Ja tuolla meillä tulee olemaan biitsikenttä.
Lämpö tulee!
Kiitos ilmastonmuutokselle, niin lumi tuolla, niin se tulee olemaan hiekkaa sitten silloin. Talvi tulee olemaan paljon lyhyempi.
Ei enää lumisia tuntureita, vain alamäkipyöräilyä.
Eihän tätä malta odottaa enää. Sulais nuo lumeet lopullisesti.
Ei enää liukkaita jäätiköitä. Kiitos ilmaston lämpenemisen.
Tää meille tulee stadion. Warm heart, we have it.
Warm place, coming soon.
Mitä oot mieltä?
Salla 2032. Ja se kuulostaa hyvältä.
Hey, you really want the games here?
Awesome. So yeah, I think we just all want to hear from you guys. Congratulations, first of all. And I think there's so much we can say about this piece. So can you just sort of take us through the process of creating this piece? Like, where did the idea come from? I don't know, just get us started on this subject, because I'm sure we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, sure. Actually, the idea was conceived. It's an idea that you can put on a single sentence, like, what if one of the coldest places in the world bid to host the Summer Olympic Games to call for attention at the global warming? It's just as simple as that. And we started to tackle a brief of Budweiser, and it was a brief that 2025, it's a year that Budweiser will go completely clean to produce and distribute the beer, and complete clean energy. And we had this brief and start to think about a lot of things, and that idea came up, and we present at the time. Look, this idea we had, it was like October 2019, so it took a long time to produce, and the result is now. At the time, October 2019, we present to Budweiser, and they loved the idea, and we had a green light from them. Go ahead, let's go for it. Let's the first city that we the folder in my computer is Oimiacon 2032. It's not Sala 2032. It's Oimiacon. Oimiacon is the coldest town in the planet Earth. And
what country is that in?
Russia, Siberia.
In Russia.
And it was the first town that we talked, and the guys from Oimiacon, they said, oh, it's not that bad that it gets a little bit warmer here, because we will have like our town will have an exit to the sea, and now it's all ice, but that's why it's not a bad idea for us. And then we start, oh my god, what those guys are talking about. And then we start to go for other places, other cities, and we start to talk to Greenland, Iceland, and the north of Canada, and a lot of towns was interested. But when we got to the House of Lapland, and remember, this is a teamwork. So Africa, they had this special projects team that their goal is to help us to produce those ideas, that it's not me or Leo or Adam or the guys that were in the phone and sending emails. We just received an invitation. Oh, could you pitch the idea to this Inuit village in the north of Canada tomorrow afternoon? And look, we talked to more than 10 cities. And the House of Lapland in Finland, they loved the idea, and they said, oh, Finland, we have this the global warming is a serious issue for us. We need to do this here. And then
so you really had to find a partner, someone who believed in the same thing that you did.
Exactly. And they have the same beliefs and the same commitment that we had. Like, it's an idea, as we put this single sentence: one of the coldest towns in the world, it's bidding to host the Summer Olympic Games. That was the headline that got to the Guardian, that got to the BBC, CNN, and because it calls attention. And the marketing team of House of Lapland, they saw the power of this idea. And that we came back to Budweiser. Look, we found the perfect place. It's the House of Lapland. They are pitching us the cities. So we start to receive a lot of cities from Lapland and the north of Finland. And Sala is we had this criteria. Like Sala, it was the perfect place because it's the coldest place in Finland and one of the coldest places in the world. They are suffering. It's very, very, it's terrible on the country, like the migration of birds, the disease that reindeers is getting. And like 2 weeks ago, they sent me a news that was talking about that this is the hottest summer in Lapland this year right now. And then we looked. Oh, Sala is a perfect place. Then with Leo, the art director, Adam, that's my partner, also art director and creative director, and we made this presentation to go back to Budweiser, and we pitched them. Look, Sala 2032 is the best place. Let's go for it. And what happened there at ABI? They are great clients, but the people changed. The people who approved the idea changed. Like they loved the idea, but one got out of ABI. They found one found an agency, another got to another area inside ABI, and the first team that approved the idea wasn't there anymore. Then, like what happened with all the governments, the people who go there for, okay, this idea, Budweiser is partner of World Cup, not Olympic Games, so I think it doesn't suit very well, and they reproved the idea and said, oh my God, we love this idea, we have the perfect partner, we are like, it was 3 months, like it was October of 2019, it was January of 2020. And they said we got a red light from them, and then we said, "Oh fuck, what now? What gonna do?" And we went back to House of Lapland, the partners and the marketing team. We said to them, and Sergio Gordillo, our boss, the CCO of Africa, he said, "Look, let's talk to them and let's tell them that we don't have Budweiser, but let's invite them to be our clients." And we said to them, look, Budweiser, they have another priority right now, but we love this idea. We want to make this idea happen with you guys. What do you guys? Then their answer was, we love this. Look, come here right now, and House of Lapland will be the client of Africa on this project, and let's make this happen, how much it will cost. Then it was me and two people from the special projects and some of our teams. We went there and we got to know personally the House of Lapland team, and got to know the city and the main issues that they were suffering. And then I start to write the script, and Leo was with Adam was thinking about like, what a city that wants to host the Summer Olympic Games, what's the path that they take. And then, they have a logo, they have a bid book, they have a bid film. Then we start to create everything, and we came back to invite some directors to pitch them. We had this script, and one of the directors that's brilliant, that's Santi, he made a perfect treatment of this idea, and we can return to Sala and shoot. It was like 15 days to shoot, because
and all this, I'm assuming, also in the middle of a pandemic.
No, it was just before the pandemic. It was like, so
you shot right before it hit.
Exactly. We arrived there to shoot. It was like a January 30, and we came back by February 15. And the Tokyo 2020, it was scheduled to July last year, and the idea was to release by March. And at the time we were hearing some things in China, and when we came back, it started. The Italy is terrible there, but we came back and everything's going to perfect to launch at March. But then at the beginning of the March, it was the World Health Organization said, there's a pandemic, and we got we pulled the plug of all the projects. But the good thing for this project that it was completely shoot, and we had also time to craft the art direction with Leo, with Adam, craft the copy.
Yeah, I would like
of
to ask
everything.
Leo about this, the art direction part of it, because it's very impressive. I think, I mean, there's this overall like wit and humor, and it's really sarcastic Scandinavian humor to the whole thing. And then the art direction just feels, I don't know, at times I felt like I was a bit in a Wes Anderson movie. You know how Wes Anderson creates these worlds that you go in and you're like, I know this isn't real, but it feels so real. And then especially when I saw all the work that you guys created, like you said, all the merchandise, all the fake merchandise for the Olympics, which for you guys who haven't seen it, I'm gonna post their portfolios here in the chat. You can see in their portfolio all of the merchandise that they created for this Olympics. So I wanted to hear from the, you know, the art direction part, how that process went, and if that was a conscious thing to like create merchandise to make it look more real. So if you could kind of walk us through that process. You're on mute. Sorry.
Mhm.
You're on mute.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So like Nicholas said, like the idea is so powerful in one phrase. And when you say the idea, you can see a lot of things you can do with this idea, with the global warming universe, the Olympics universe. So you can do everything you have in the Olympics. So we go to see, let's see what Los Angeles Beat Book is doing for your candidature. So there's a lot of this work, like emulating everything that a city can do to be on the Olympics. And
so actually following the process, the whole procedure perfectly. Oh my God.
And by the way, the mayor of Sala goes to the Olympic International, present the bid book and saying Sala is really interested in.
Oh, he really did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
He went to Lausanne and with the bid book on his hand and to make it formal. Look, my city that I represent is making an official bid.
I mean, I know it's sad, but I'm laughing because it's just like so clever, you know?
Yes, in the bid book, if you read it, Nicholas write like 100 pages of a bid book to defend why Sala should be the next Summer Games city.
Oh my God!
Like it was very insane. So I believe the idea is very powerful, but the craft is very rich too. Like just in the copywriting, the art direction is the great universe. I think is like one of idea when you can see all the way you can do. Like we always follow ideas like some like Dumb Way to Die, when you can have a lot of things. You have one idea, you can have like 20, 50 executions of this. So I think this is one of the most best things of this idea in this project of Sala.
So do you guys think that, because I want to talk about the award itself, you know, how you guys found out that you won, how that felt, what does it mean for you? And, you know, why do you think you guys won? Because like you're saying that you really do have the really good genius idea and the craft. Do you think it's because it resonates so much with what's happening right now, with these concerns about the environment? Or is it also, you know, because there's those two things that are so well married? Like what went through your guys' head in this process?
Yeah, look, when we had this idea and started to craft, and to everybody that we talked about inside the agency with the client, and before the launch, everybody said, "Oh, this is awesome! This is awesome!" But this is just the first thing that I would like to talk to everyone, because it's one thing that I would love for someone to talk to me when I was studying. For me, the best thing was the time that we had this idea and we start to craft everything, because like it's very subjective, the awards. You see a lot of great ideas that doesn't win awards, and there is some ideas that win awards and you say, oh, that's not that good. And for me personally, it was, look, at the time that we launched and we saw that it got the headline of Guardian and it got the headline of CNN, and it was like more than 150 countries, and Greta Thunberg was sharing the idea, the former president of Finland was sharing the idea, that for me personally, I knew that, look, I did everything that I could. I put all my energy, all my effort on this idea, and the rest and the awards, it's awesome, of course, but
it was the cherry on top.
Yeah, it's like thank you guys. It's awesome to win like a Grand Prix that everybody, it's the main the best recognition you can receive, but it's not something that we aimed for. It's just a result of the
because that was one of my questions, is if when you're creating in general, if you know when you're creating award-worthy work or not, because I feel like most people don't really. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very personal, and for me, I always try to find that idea that's completely, that nobody thought about that before, and also something that have my DNA, my fingerprint, that I always talk to the students that want to, give me some tips, something like that. I always say, look for your voice. That's for the most important thing. And for me personally, I'm a person that I love sports. I love Olympic Games. And as we are working, we need to be very diverse. We need to try to create. It doesn't matter the client or the product, but for me, it was I had a personal satisfaction that I put all the things that I love in my life, and I remember I had like it was my dad who gave to me a Atlanta 96 mascot for me when I was a little kid, and I had this that I love. So let's use the mascot, and Leo and Adam, all the team. What's the animal that is suffering with the eyes? It's the deer. So let's call it reindeer. And then we try to what's gonna be the name of the reindeer? What about summer in Finnish? What's the name? And then the guys of House of Lapland, it's Ketsa. Ketsa, it's a good name. Let's use that name. So the teamwork, and put your create.
Yeah, it's like you have to create authentically, because yes. I mean, if it hadn't been an idea that you guys were passionate about, maybe you wouldn't have pushed for it. Maybe if Budweiser had said no, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
We're having fun creating all this campaign, right? It's like a pleasure, and make us very proud. No matter if it won a prize or not, like I was proud of this campaign at the end.
Yeah, right? And it must have been so fun to shoot. It looks like it must have been hilarious to shoot. For me, like the guy skiing with the reindeer. Now I want to do that. And the woman, I don't know, just their tone of voice. It looked like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was very fun. However, it was a very challenge, because it was like minus 20 degrees when we were shooting, and the light of the day, we had just like 5-6 hours at most, because the sun.
And even then, the light is not light. It's that gray.
Yeah.
It's the Scandinavian.
Exactly. And when at the time when we were there, we were hoping for the sun to come up, and the guy said, like the day when the day that we started shoot, the day before had this aurora boreal, and they had this perfect light and sun, blue sky. And when start shoot, like the weather, the clouds came in, and it was becoming very gray. And I was talking to Santi and the photographer, that's Bibi, the cinematographer, and they were said, oh, what happened to the light? And then we were talking about, look, this is good for the film. Let's keep that way. Let's not hope for the sun to come up. Let's keep gray, because it helps to tell the idea of this place that's very cold, you know?
Yeah, how could a place like this ever be a Summer Olympics host? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that was amazing. So I want to ask you guys last couple of questions. One is how you guys felt, like what you were doing when you received the award and how that was like.
The guys like Gordillo sent to us that it got the news before the main awards happened, and then we saw, it was great, the feeling. I don't know, like, what were you doing?
I was like the Eric Mendonça actually is brother of Catharina Mendonça. He's copywriter too, and he knows before too. And he sent me, you won a Grand Prix, congratulations. So tell me what are you saying? It's very.
Are you sure? don't mess with me, man. Amazing. So the last question I have for you guys, I wanted you both to answer this, is because we have, you know, a mix of people who are here listening. So it could be someone who's still studying at Miami Ad School, or thinking about going to Miami Ad School, or already in the business for a while and are interested in sort of getting to that level that you guys are at. So I wanted you guys to maybe impart some practical advice on this topic in terms of what you learned in the process, and sort of how to create award-winning work, if anything, or how to create thinking about that or geared towards that. Because, you know, sometimes in a person's career, it is important to get an award in order to ask for a promotion or ask for a raise, or maybe even move to a different country and get hired somewhere else. Sometimes it does end up being part of the process. So can you guys give any practical advice that people can take with them? And just a quick reminder for those of you who weren't before, if you have questions for the guys, send it in here, because we're in the last couple of minutes, okay? Sorry, go ahead.
Like, for me, I have Rainor knows me very well, Leo, and even Kata. I'm a kind of obsessive and hard work. For me, hard work pays the price. Like, I try to, there's a joke that everybody tells me that when we are creating, that I always say, like, one more idea or 1 more hour. Let's go for one more idea. And there's this thing that, like, 99% of our ideas, of David Droga ideas, from Alex Boguski ideas, it doesn't get made. But those 99% of ideas that you create, that you come up with your mind and your soul, it paves the way for that. There will be one time that everything connects. And for me, it's like repetition. Try, think a lot, think hard. And
yeah, it's so much of a numbers game. Numbers, you know, the more ideas you create, one of them is bound to have that magic. Because for me, it's also a little bit about magic, you know? There's some pieces that you just look at it and you can't explain it, and you feel the magic. And it's like you said, everything connects. And okay, it connected.
Exactly. It's not luck at all. You know, I have like my heroes from sports, like Tom Brady, Cristiano Ronaldo. there are guys, they are not born, and I'm for sure, I can promise you, I'm not near the most talented one, but I can guarantee you that I work my ass off to be the hardest work man in to tackle that brief, you know. That's how
I'm assuming you worked harder than Leonardo then.
No.
Do you want to? I'm kidding. Leonardo,
I think
would you like to defend yourself? No, I'm kidding.
No, I had to admit, Nicholas is the most hard worker that I met ever in my life. Like, no one compares to Nicholas.
No, but Leo, it's incredible, and the way that he tackles the art direction and the design and the care that he has, it's amazing. He's
you
one
can
of
really
the best.
see it. You can really see that. I'm gonna put the portfolios now, like I promised, in the chat so people can see it too, because you guys have a lot of stuff there to see. So what about you, Leo?
Yeah, I think he's like I have like a lot of campaigns, and there's more campaigns we launched that's not won an award than the campaigns that won. So I think it's like a try and fail until sometimes it works. Like, of course, you have to always try keeping in mind you have to be a work to or just to the mindset of award or to just a great work to be proud but I think like it's like this magic that you say is like a very resilient work that we do. So I think like if you start the idea, I think you win like an award with every idea. You get frustrated and you never can do this.
Definitely. I think what you said about being resilient is really good advice. That's great.
Yeah.
So we
protect
have
the idea. You need to protect the idea, because like this idea, and among others, like I don't know, it more than 10 times it got killed, like from the client that denied, from the people that were afraid from the Olympic committee, say, oh, you're talking about Olympics, but you are not sponsoring of the Olympics, they are gonna sue us. So there's a lot of fear, and you need to protect the idea like a little baby. Your idea is a little baby. If you don't change the diapers, if you don't feed, it doesn't grow, you know.
Amazing. So that actually leads us to a question that we have from Bernardo. He wants to know what would be a good advice for a recent grad in regards to making the idea and the insight work. So how does he make sure that it's a good insight as an insight and good as an idea? Any advice for him?
For me, the best thing that I do, that I still do today, that it's study a lot. Like all the doctors study medicine, and the engineers, they study their craft. We need to study our craft. We need to know everything, because to come up with a fresh idea, you need to know what came before. And if you don't know anything before, you come up with idea, and this feeling that I love this feeling that when you connect and you have an idea, you are by yourself, or you are partner with Leo, with another partner, that, oh, this idea is great. And then they always say, oh, but someone did this 2 years ago, you know. So for me, the best is to have your own criteria. And Paulo André teach me a lot on this, like study your craft. Then you know what's good and what's not working, you know. And you need, our profession is our work is very subjective. So that's why you need to look on yourself, and there's some idea, oh, that won a Grand Prix, but I don't like it. That's okay. It's not the main truth. It's not that holy grail. You need to find your voice. For me, the most important thing is study a lot and find your voice.
Amazing. Go ahead, Leo.
I think it's exercise we always do when we're creating a campaign in the agencies. It's like Nicolas said in the first, you can write a headline about what the newspaper and the portals will write about this idea. So you think you would click in this headline if you read it. So I think it's a good way to think about this idea, if it's working, it's interesting, the insight is interesting.
Yeah,
right. This advice from Leo is perfect. Like we all create like we always have this slide that PR potential, it's a headline. And like I said to you, I told you at the beginning, the headline was one of the coldest places in the world is bidding to host the Summer Olympic Games. That's it. And it's called like an elevator pitch. Steven Spielberg told this, that if you are inside an elevator, everybody meet him and say, oh, I have a great idea for a movie, and people start to talk a lot. Look, tell me inside the elevator, what's your idea? And if you come up with this headline that Leo told you, it's the best thing.
Amazing. All right, so really want to thank you guys for taking the time to be here and telling us about your process, and congratulations, it was so well deserved.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for being here. Good night.
Thank you for having us. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So now we have our second team of the night, everyone. We have Rainor, Marinho, and Cata Mendonça. So they won the Grand Prix Entertainment for music at the time for Gut Agency. So I'd like to welcome you guys. Let's see where you are. There you are. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Hi.
Hello.
Awesome. So just a quick bio. Rainor studied copywriting at Miami Ad School and is currently at GUT, and Catharina studied copywriting at Miami Ad School as well as other places, and is currently at Wunderman Thompson. So I'm going to start off by showing the video of the work that won you guys the award, and then we'll get into the questions, okay?
Okay.
And for those of you who are here in the chat, put in your questions and we'll get to you guys. All right, let me just share. Look at my messy desktop. All right, here we go.
Gloria Groove is the biggest LGBTQ+ artist in Brazil. And the peak of her connection with the community happens every year during the world's biggest Pride parade. But in 2020, the parade was canceled. Mercado Livre, the event's main sponsor and biggest e-commerce in Latin America, decided to show it can deliver more than just products. It can deliver a way to keep the connection between Gloria Groove and the community alive, even during lockdown, by bringing them together in one unique music video. We photographed every square meter of the avenue where the parade traditionally happens, and turned its 2.5 kilometers into an Instagram feed. Gloria and a group of influencers invited people to join the feed parade. And to do so, they just had to comment on one of the photos to be tagged. The 60,000 people who did so had their names eternalized on Gloria's new music video. And the virtual parade became the location for it.
Eu amei essa ideia. Olha isso. Nossa, não acredito. Imagina a produção, que foda. GLORIOSA. Deusa do amor, a visão celestial, ela é sensacional. Gloriosa. GLORIOSA.
Meu nome!
I love that. All right, let me just close it to make sure the next video doesn't play. 1 second. All right. So that was amazing, you guys. So first of all, congratulations on winning this award. That must have been so cool. And I want to hear from you guys now. How was the process? How did you guys come up with the idea? And I mean, honestly, it looks so complex from everything, you know, doing the Instagrams and the names and then creating the music video. There was so many facets to it. So can you guys walk us through that process?
Yes, of course. Hi everyone. I'm Rainor. Catharina, do you wish to start?
First of all, I want to apologize because I'm wearing a mask because I'm in a shooting set, so I need to wear a mask.
Working on your next award already.
Yeah, not yet. I think not yet. I think you can start. Hi.
Okay.
I don't know.
You can...
I don't know how to start. It's a lot of things.
Okay, interrupt me anytime you want, please.
Okay.
Guys, we were, of course, extremely happy to see all the people talking about this idea when we put the idea to everyone, so everyone could see it and interact. First of all, we started this idea working together as a team. Me, my creative partner, that he's called Murilo, and Catharina and her creative partner that's called Bernardo. We were two creative teams working in the same and tackling the same briefing. And we start doing it together. And there were so many rounds of ideas. And then actually, the idea was completely different from what you are all seeing right now. And we came up with this different idea. We showed the idea to the client, and really, really near to the day we should release it, we actually know that the idea couldn't be done. So we had to start all over again. So
you had already shot something?
No. We were still.
The directors were briefed, and then we knew that we can't do the idea how we have imagined, and then we start all over again. And you can continue. Hi.
My God.
So everyone was briefed about the idea. We were ready to make it happen, and then we discovered that the idea couldn't be done. The different idea we had before. So we were really frustrated, of course. And then, as the deadline was approaching, our ECD, Bruno Brooks, decided to open the brief to the whole agency to work on it, because we had no time. And once again, it was a strike of luck. Me, Murilo, Catharina, and Bernardo, we came up with the idea that you guys are seeing right now, that won the Grand Prix award. So it was really, really, it was a process, a long process of working on different ideas, of getting frustrated about the ideas dying, and then again landing the idea that actually won the Grand Prix. So it was really, really double rewarding for us to see the
I
idea.
Cried.
Yeah,
I'm sure really there were painful. A lot of tears in the process, painful tears, and then after tears of joy when you guys won. Like, oh my God.
Yes.
But it was always for the same client then, just to be clear. It was always for the same client. That never changed.
Yeah, the briefing came first, then the idea. So it was a real brief. We need to think to LGBTQIA plus community, And then we thought a lot of ideas, but the briefing came first.
Yeah, it's interesting because tonight both teams, we have kind of the opposite situations. The other team had to look for a client, and for you guys it was the idea changed, but the client was the same. So it's interesting that we have both perspectives on that.
Yes, the thing is, gut agency, it's really small, and we were starting, you know, it was the first year of the agency, so we couldn't work our time with clients without briefings, you know. We couldn't do that in that time, you know. Mm-hmm. So every year, Mercado Livre sponsors the Pride Parade, and every year this briefing it is on and needs to be tackled, you know. So it was that way that we came up with the ideas, with the idea you guys saw.
But it's so crazy because you really see in the video case that it's an idea that really got to people on a personal level. They felt so involved in the idea. So, you know, Avenida Paulista being full in 15 minutes on social media, and it just feels like a really like contemporary, social media driven, fresh idea. So for you guys, was it, conceptually speaking, like, were you thinking, you know, it needs to be something on social media because that's where the audience is, that's where they, you know, will be the most involved? So how was that kind of thinking regarding pop culture, social media, how interactive it could be, and how did you guys make it possible?
It was more a pandemic thing, because we can't do anything in the streets, and we knew the Pride Parade couldn't happen because people were locked in their own homes.
Yeah.
So we had to think in a solution, and the internet and social media helped a lot because it was a good way to keep the community together, and it was a nice thought that people in other states, not just São Paulo, could go to the Pride Parade. People who never came out, or people who couldn't travel to São Paulo to participate. So I think it was very good to the community because they feel together. They felt together.
That's amazing. That's the best part of social media if you think about it, because, you know, obviously everything has good sides and bad sides, and it's like you guys really went for the best possible thing about social media, which is community and making people feel like they're connected to each other. That's awesome.
And Paula, we were, since the beginning of the process, we were really extremely careful, because when we are talking with the community, we need to do ideas that are engaging, because we are talking about passion and freedom, and we are talking with a group of people that often are
repressed,
fighting for their right to live. So since the beginning, we had, before the briefing entered the creative team, the planning team had a lot of interviews, a lot of people, a huge team inside and outside the agency were involved. So we wouldn't miss the spot and the right thing to say and how to communicate, because we couldn't afford to do something irresponsible with the community, you know?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So we have a question already for you guys from Abigail. She says, lockdown was a very difficult place for many people to get inspiration. How did you manage to get inspiration within this context? Can you give some advice to people who are struggling to think of creative ideas?
I don't know. I don't know yet how to deal with it. I am struggling this problem. In Brazil, I think it's even worse because the situation here is not so good, and it's hard to think in something funny or even fun because we know what the country is facing now. So I want to high note answer that because I want to know as well.
Actually, it's a really good question because I think that every creative out there had a lot of struggled a lot to came up with ideas that the briefings were all the same. So we need to renew our inspiration, thinking about resilience, what we could achieve by thinking differently about the same problem. But I think that one thing that gave us a lot of inspiration for this briefing in special was the fact that we had something that we had the Pride Parade. How do we celebrate the Pride Parade in a lockdown context? You know, that was the start, and it seems like it was easy to come up with something like that, but it wasn't. But was really inspirational for us to tackle the problem from a point of view of passion about giving freedom and celebration to the community.
Mm-hmm.
I think
and it sounds like you guys came from a problem-solving place. Like, we have this problem.
Yes.
We have the Pride Parade, and we need to celebrate this somehow. How do we solve this problem?
Exactly. The problem-solving thing drove us to the right direction. You know.
Yeah, and I think it's important to restate what you guys mentioned, which is also all that research, right? So if you're representing a certain group or a certain brand, even like, I think for me, a lot of times what helps is, I can't think of anything. Let me just sit and research for a bit. Let me read. Let me, even sometimes looking for references outside of advertising specifically, like let me look at a photography book. Let me look at something completely different and see if something comes from there, because we are all, on Zoom all the time, trying to create, like you said, with the same briefs. And so it is challenging. So thank you for that question, Abigail. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you guys, we have another question too, but I want to ask you guys about winning this award, what it felt like, what it meant to you. I know from one of Kata's Instagram posts that it's very special for you, and particularly for us as women. So maybe Kata could go first and contextualize what I'm talking about on her Instagram post.
Like Nico and Leo said, we knew before the real announcement, and I went crazy. I knows that I called him and I was crying a lot. I was crying. I think I cried for about 2 hours, and then I realized that what it was happening, and it was my first Lion, and it was a Grand Prix. So I went crazy, and here in Brazil, there's not many women who won a Grand Prix. There's some names in leadership roles, but I think I don't know I don't know precisely the number, but I think there's only an art director and me, without a leadership role here in Brazil with a Grand Prix. So
amazing.
It's really important to me as a woman, because when I was a student, I looked a lot for references in the other advertising, and now I am a reference to someone. So
that's crazy to think about,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's crazy.
Oh my God. Wow. That's so, yeah, special congratulations on that, because it's very, very important to have more and more role models for sure.
I want to say something before,
of course,
before I forget. You were my teacher at my med school, and
yes.
Rainor as well. He was my teacher as well in my med school. So it's really nice being here, talking with you, and Rainor, because I learned a lot. Not a lot. I learned a little with him, and it's really nice.
It's a full circle moment for sure, for sure. And I remember you in my class, and you always being very sort of involved and very sort of into pop culture and making things as relevant and fresh as possible. So I remember that when I saw this idea, I was like, wow, this is so Cata, you know? It's amazing. Yeah. So what about for you? Hi, how was it for you to win the award?
It was crazy. I think no creative ever really expects to win a Grand Prix. I think it's impossible to know in upper hand, you know, that you were going to win a Grand Prix. So it was really emotional. I thought of my journey from my hometown to São Paulo, and
yeah,
everything.
You both are not from São Paulo, right? Which for people who aren't right. Brazilian, or probably, I'm sure maybe other Latin American countries can relate to that as well, that usually it's more the São Paulo Rio people. And I think it is harder for people outside of São Paulo to break into the market sometimes.
I can't say about the people who are from São Paulo or from Rio, but I know that for us, I think that Cata can say about it as well. It's really hard to not be on your
hometown.
Hometown, yeah, and it's really hard in the beginning to get used to the dynamic of being in a big city, you know. But was really emotional for me the to win the Grand Prix, you know. I remember Cata calling me crying, and then the guys from the agency, Anselmo calling, crying, Brooks calling and crying, and getting everyone on a Zoom meeting, so everyone
and
was
crying
together. Yeah. It was really emotional. That's the word.
Great. So we have a question from Nanda. She wants you guys, if you can, comment, even in general terms, why you couldn't do the other idea, the initial idea that you guys wanted to do, if you can.
It was technology. We couldn't do that because of the technology.
There was no time to make the technology
in time.
Mm-hmm. In time, yeah.
Time to develop the technology we needed. We needed something with augmented reality and scanning with your phone, and it was for the best.
So I also want to help you ask you guys about in terms of what winning a Grand Prix actually does to your career, because I don't know how long ago you guys were, you know, but you know, does it help you to sort of get promotions and get things like that? Is that something that people talk about? Like, okay, well, now that I have this, I can ask for a raise or I can get a promotion.
We both were promoted before the Grand Prix, so I changed the agency, but I love good, but I received a real good offer at Wunderman Thompson, and I decided to try, and Rainor became a creative director. We worked together a little while this new role, and I think even without Grand Prix, everyone felt the need of raising us, of promoting us, because
it's kind of like what the other
idea,
team said. Yeah, the impact of the work itself was enough to make that move for you guys.
Even without Grand Prix, we were really proud of this idea, and everyone loves it. So it was natural.
Yeah, it sounds like it was very organic. And for the other team they interviewed as well, it all felt very organic. So we're in the last couple of minutes. So if you guys have any more questions at the bottom, send them in. So I want to ask you guys now about the same question that I asked the other team at the end, which is practical advice on this topic. So whether it's creating award-winning work or something about the process that you learned that you want to share, like this is a big thing to do, or, you know, this is a big no, don't do this. So what can you guys share in terms of wisdom about winning and this process that you guys went through?
It's kind of cliche, but I need to repeat that you need resilience, and we are the living proof that you need resilience. First of all, I think you need to be and certify that you are surrounded by creative and nice people who are always pushing you forward without making you feel like shit, you know. People that are stimulating to have beside you, and I think you need to research and find a point of view and a purpose for your ideas.
And how about clients? Because I think I've gotten questions like this in other Nomad talks where people question the speaker, like, okay, but you know, how do I get this across to a client? And what if the client resists too much? So within that, and also related to what the other team said about protecting your idea. So everything's kind of coming together now. How do you practically do that in an agency?
This idea
that's a tricky question.
It is, I'm sorry.
This idea was very special for the client as well, because the main client is in LGBTQIA+ community. So he was so happy when the idea came out and the Grand Prix came out. He was really touched and felt included, and I think it's special to do this kind of work inside a big company.
Yeah,
definitely.
You know, Paula, I think that question you just asked is really tricky, because I think that excels a personal level, you know. Yeah, that question, it not depends of only you to make the culture of an agency. You need to be on an agency. Yeah, you need to be on an agency that protect the ideas, that nurture talent, that believes that creativity is the main goal of the whole advertising process, you know? It's really tricky. It's hard
but I think
to tackle it on a personal level.
That in itself is a really good piece of advice, because I think sometimes creatives can get so frustrated working at agency X or agency Y, and it's not personal. It's just like the fit is not there because you want something and the culture of the agency is not there. So finding the right fit for you is what I've heard from a lot of people who have been here on the talks, is sometimes more important than saying, oh, but that agency won so many awards and it has this and it has that. Well, okay, but does it have the culture that you're looking for to create the ideas that you want to do?
Perfect. Paula, Guts had 0 awards. 0 awards. Guts is only 2 years old, you know? You need to search for the best culture. No,
yeah.
The whole network.
Oh, wow, okay.
Guts Miami just won 3 Lions or 5 Lions, I don't know. And we, Guts São Paulo, we won 2 Lions with Hit Parade, the Grand Prix and another Gold Lion. So it was the first time of the network on Cannes. It was the first time. So we had 0. Of course, we had talent, we had culture.
Intention, yeah.
Yeah, intention, yeah.
And I think there's a special thing in this job. All the team, and it was a big team, was really involved to put the idea in the I don't know how to say in English, but here in Brazil we call it put in the street. Yeah, but the accounting team, the media team, the community managers, the planning team, everyone was really involved
on board, completely on board with the idea. That's so cool.
Paula, the idea was to have this feed with the Avenida Paulista looking from top to bottom, you know. It's a curiosity about that. I say the team, but particularly one social media that helped us. She had to upload each picture manually, 300 pictures manually.
Oh my God.
Waiting 5 minutes between the uploads, because Instagram could ban the account. So it was 24 hours uploading the pictures.
Yeah, the whole team worked really hard to make the idea come true. Really, really hard. Each square.
The comments. I wrote the names. I wrote the names on a Excel page, one by one. 20,000 names, one by one.
Oh my God.
People would comment, and the profile page had to tag the people manually on the spot, you know? So it was a lot of work.
Well, maybe you guys will create some sort of need in Instagram for them to make this sort of thing more automatic or something. That sounds insane.
Yeah. So that shows the importance, the need we have to be surrounded by people that believe what we are doing, you know, to do it the best way possible.
And everyone was really connected. We are friends. We were co-workers and we are friends. So it was easier to do this.
Definitely. All right, you guys. I really, really want to thank you for everything you shared tonight. I think it's so cool, like you guys and the other team, to share all the difficulties and all the obstacles and challenges that happen behind this idea. Because more often than not, we can see, you know, Grand Prix and it's big and flashy and just maybe imagine that everything was smooth sailing. And I think for both teams, you both talked about everything that you faced very authentically. And so I really, really want to thank you guys for that and offer you guys another huge congratulations. So proud of you all, and like a proud mama hen, even though I had nothing to do with this work at all. But yeah,
it was not easy, but it was worth it.
I know how to use the Premiere because of you. So
that's true.
I think you are responsible.
Oh, thank you so much. And I remember you won the top. I gave you the top award in my class. Right. I gave you the top dog for the
and I am a copywriter.
It was the best one. Yeah. Well, listen, video is storytelling, and writing, I think, is the best way for it. But so thank you guys so much. A huge congratulations, and we can't wait to see what you guys come up with next. No pressure, you know, it doesn't have to be a Grand Prix, but so that's it. Thank you guys. Thank you to the other team, and thank you for everyone who was here and who sent in their questions and stayed throughout the conversation. We're getting lots of comments here from people saying thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
That's it. Good night.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here.